What's up, guys? This is Teddy from the future. I am making this video. You want to go into your program CS file, and I forgot about this. It's kind of like, this is totally like a newbie mistake, but we all make mistakes. Make sure that you add use authentication, and also make sure that you comment this out. Otherwise, you will implement all those features, but you won't be able to recreate your password. So go ahead, comment this out, and also make sure to add use authentication. It's in the GitHub as well too. So if you just want to copy it, you can go to the GitHub. What's up, guys? This is Teddy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video, we're going to be finishing out the password reset. So we've gotten to the point where we can send the email and we can receive the email. Also make sure to check your spam folder, because that was the problem with SendGrid, and SendGrid will sometimes lock you out of your account for some reason. But I got that figured out, and I'm receiving the emails, but now we need to make the link, or we need to actually make the view where they can receive those emails that we get in the email, if that makes sense, because we're sending the email, but when we click the email, there's no link, and we need to make that link, and that's what we're going to do. So first things first, we are going to, as always, create our controller, and what we're going to call this controller is we're just going to call it reset password. We've gotten the link here. Actually, let me make sure. So forgot password. Yeah, let's call it reset password. So we're going to call it reset password, and let's keep it kind of in the middle. We'll keep it up here. Actually, let's put it, we're making this one next. So let's put this one under forgot password and above login. So just a good old HTTP get. And once again, these Git controllers are usually not as meaty. That's a weird way to describe it, as the post endpoints. Sorry, putting that down, it's in the way, but Git endpoints are going to be a lot more simpler, just because you're usually just returning a view, and we're just going to return an action result, and we don't even need to create async if you're not going. Especially if you're just building this for a test project, you don't really need all of this async. Async is more so if you know the endpoint is going to be being hit a lot, and especially post. You want to do async for post, or if the endpoint is going to be, like I said, being utilized a ton. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to do a ternary. You could not do a ternary, but let me see here. And let me see here. We need to make a view. We should have an error view in here. If we don't, yeah, we do have an error view. So if we do not have that code, or if the code is null for whatever reason, we're going to return the error view. And the error view is actually in the shared folder. This is it right here. And it comes by default, unless you have maybe like a really old version of MVC. But you're going to have it there if you have .NET 6. And let me see here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We've got the view, and that should do it. But now we need to actually create the view in the account folder, or the CS.html. We've created the controller, but we need to actually create all the HTML for it. And we're going to do it right here. And of course, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, because we literally do the same thing, but it's kind of nice because you get into the habit of just doing the same thing. It's web development is kind of repetitious, I guess you would say. So, and then in here, and we're gonna, this one's kind of, this HTML is a little in depth, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna actually do this one by hand. So I'm going to go account ASP action, and we're going to go reset password, because that is the view that we're planning on it, and we haven't made it yet, but we've made it, we always make our get first, but with all of these forms, we're going to be creating a post request after this, after we get done making our form. So it goes like this: create your controller, then create your view, and then create your post request. So controller, view, post request. And that's kind of a good, in case you ever get freaked out or you don't know kind of like what you're doing, or maybe you're just, you know, kind of confused on how to actually start tackling a problem, just remember that. So here, view model. Okay, and we definitely do not have this view model, so we're going to go in here and we are going to create it. So go in here, and it called it a class for some reason. Visual Studio. What am I going to do with you? Okay, so we're going in, create this class, and we're going to reset password view model. And as always, when you're ever in doubt, always create a view model. There's nothing that could really hurt unless you had only one property. Nothing is going to hurt just tossing in a good old view model or a DTO. Nothing, making a DTO for your controller, not going to hurt anything. So always err on the side of creating a view model for all of your views. So I'm trying to think like what we actually need. So I think we're just gonna need email. We're gonna need the password, and we're gonna have to confirm the password too, because they're gonna have to create a new one, and they're gonna have to actually provide the email as well too. So we're gonna do that. Go up here. Email is gonna be a string, of course. And I'm trying to think. So we're gonna go prop, and then we're gonna go string, and we're gonna go password, and we're also gonna need the confirm password. So we're gonna go here, string, confirm. Okay, and then we're also going to need that code, and the code is what's going to be passed in through the email. So whenever you do these requests, what you're going to get is you're going to get that token, and the token is going to be passed in through the query string, and this is what is going to be holding that value when we pass it into our model. Just think of view models as little, I always say this, and I've said this probably like 20 times, so I apologize if I'm sounding, you know, really repetitious. Just think of these view models and think of just objects in that fact as just little containers or toolboxes of data. We can have all of our variables, you know, laying around, but we don't want to. If we have all of our tools laying out, people could mentally trip over them. All right. And you have these neat little attributes right here that are going to confirm the password. And if they don't confirm, basically what's going to happen is, and I can show you this just in case maybe you don't know how this works. So basically what's going to happen is ASP.NET is going to do all of this for you kind of magically under the hood. So you're going to what's going to happen is you're going to pass in that object, and ASP.NET is going to do all this validation for you, and you don't have to put any of this validation into the model. You can have like really a lot of control over your validation with all of this, and it's pretty intuitive. It's really neat, and a lot of this stuff you can just tell how long it's been around because you have just really good programming practices like that when stuff's been around for a long time and is really battle tested. So, and we're gonna confirm this password again, and we're gonna display it. And all this display does is it makes it so that when you have a label, it will show it in nice little cool letters, as opposed to if you don't have the display, it's going to display it like that and it looks like doo-doo. Okay, so we're going in here. And then we're going to compare. And another cool thing is that entity frame. no, I don't know if this is Entity Framework. ASP.NET, I'll just call it ASP.NET, has a cool little compare thing for you. So you don't have to write any regex or regex, and it will automatically be password and passwords don't match. I'll just say passwords don't match. We'll put an exclamation mark there. Okay, so now let's go back to our form and let's start piecing this thing together. So now we need our inputs, and let's go ahead and up here and let's just put in our validation. So we'll go Asp Validation Summary, and then we'll go all, then we'll go class is equal to text danger. And this will basically, what Asp Validation Summary does is it will show all of the validation errors. So if you get like another validation error, if there's some other type of model error, it's going to display it up at the top as opposed for each individual form. And I'll show you kind of, I am going to just paste these in here. There's no reason to have all this. Just what you want to do, and when you want to copy a form, and this is kind of like a neat little trick, just go in here, find this div right here, and just copy and paste all this stuff over. You don't want to hand type all this out, especially as a .NET developer. People give you, if you were a front-end developer, you would want to type all this stuff out, but you're a .NET developer and you need to focus on the back end more. So don't spend a lot of time on HTML and CSS because you're not going to be using it a lot. But if that's your thing and that's the area that you want to go after, and you're just here just to kind of learn, you know, ASP.NET in your spare time, or you just kind of want to become a better developer, do that. Okay. And let me see. We'll just go ahead out here too, and we're just going to grab this submit button from another page. Doesn't even matter which one. So we'll go in here, grab this submit button, and that should be good. And it kind of look, I'm going to move that. I'm going to move this forward because this is, I think that looks bad. And I'm just going to move it back. I'm being really picky for some reason today. And that looks good. Okay, so now we need to change this to password. So change all these to password. Change this to password. And we need our confirm password. So we're going to go in here. We're going to go confirm password. And all that you need to do is you just need to make sure that these are all matching the view model. And that's kind of the beauty of .NET and why you can rapidly develop. MVC is another framework. MVC in particular is another framework. You could rapidly, MVC is really good for building forms. That's what I've noticed is MVC is like the king of forms. Like if you need forms built, go with MVC. Okay, so now we need to build the confirmation. So we've already got all this other stuff built out, but now we need to actually build out the confirmation. So when they actually go in here and fill everything out, they need to go somewhere. And we also need to build the post request as well too. We haven't even built the post request. So I'm gonna go in here. We're gonna go post. Okay, and we need to validate anti-forgery token so that there's no possibility of cross-site scripting. Async task, then we're gonna go iAction, and we're gonna go reset password, and this is a post, and because we're posting, we want to pass in that view model. Yeah, we're going to pass in the reset password view model. Let's see. Reset password view model. Reset password. Okay. Now we need to, of course, always in a post request, you want to update that model state, or check that model state. So we're going to go model state dot is valid. And then if the model state is valid and all of our forms are correct, we want to first go get our user. And we use our user manager to go get our user. So, and we're passing in our email through that form. And that's going to give us our user, lickety split. So now we go in here. You always want to do some kind of null check whenever you're grabbing something from the database like that, especially a big object like a user, a big important object. Then you want to go down here, and if we didn't find the user, we want to send back, let me see here, I'm trying to think. Let's go back. Let's return the view and let's add a model state error. So model state dot add model error, and we will add this to email, and we're going to say user not found. Okay, so got our user null check. The next thing that we want to do, and I'm just going to go ahead and shut this down, is we're going to, there's actually a nice little user manager function method, whatever you want to call it, that is going to just reset the password for us. And it's super simple. And another reason for using Identity Framework, because so we don't have to do all this. So we're going to go reset password async. We're just going to pass in that. We're going to pass in that user that we found, and then we're going to go model dot reset password view model, reset password view model dot code dot model reset password view model, and then we're going to go password. We're going to pass in that password, and then it's going to be just like every other single identity function. We just go in here, we succeeded. Now what we want to do is we're going to go redirect to action, reset password confirmation. Then just go ahead and put your view down there as well too, if you don't put your view down there. I actually had, I messed up a part of the code, so I actually had to go back. That's so make sure you have that return view, and also make sure that you have the reset password get, and we should be good to go. So we're going to go up here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to run this thing. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's fire this thing up, and let's recreate our password. So we're going to go in here, and it looks like I'm not logged in. Going to submit this password. So we're at our forgot confirmation view, and let me see here. Oh, we've got our email reset, and this is I can't show you my email inbox, but this is I swear that this is like the real email that I got. I actually got this email. Then we're gonna go in here. We're going to redo that password. This is just, I'm not going to be using any of these accounts, so I'm just going to be redoing this password. And let's go in here and make sure that it is actually succeeding in the result. You want to make sure it's succeeding. Don't kind of take like the program's word for it and just kind of go by, you know, what you receive. Make sure you step through it with a debugger and make sure that you're getting this right here. Otherwise, probably not going to have a lot of fun. So we go here, our reset password is confirmed, and make sure, I'm just going to update that and just store, this bogus password. And then let's go in here. Let's see, make sure here. And also when you step through with the login, make sure that you're getting a success as well too. So we go result, and we've got to succeed here, and we're going to redirect to the index. We're going to redirect to home, and we have got our name up here, and we are ready to go. We are authenticated, and we're going to start working on OAuth next. Before, also, we have one more. I think that we have either the reset password or we have the confirm password. I think we have to do the confirm password next, but after that we'll get to the OAuth. Anyways, hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.